Okay, hey everybody, I'm back working on the Mustang. It's getting cold up here in Connecticut now, so I got to start wearing warm clothes when I go out in the garage. Anyway, we got the roof all done with the epoxy adhesive repair job for the holes that we had. So now the roof is ready for the next step, which is going to be putting some filler in the holes and taking care of, there's like a little bit of flash rust on the top. I want to get that cleaned up and just maybe get some primer on here so it doesn't continue to get that little rust. But before I do all of that stuff, I noticed when I was repairing the roof that there's like a little kind of bouncy spot in the roof, and I'll bring the camera over and show you up close. I'm going to try and fix that. So let's go over and take a look at what I'm talking about. Here it is. What you're looking at is the back part of the roof on the passenger side of the car. Down here is the repair that I made by welding in a little patch where we had one of those roof holes. And on the other side of that patch, you can see the roof's really kind of bouncy right here. If I just push down a little bit, it bounces up and down. There's a big low spot right here. Everywhere else, the roof is pretty solid. I guess I could make it do it over there, but this one's a lot softer than that spot. So, I got a little bit of that epoxy left over. I just wanted to try and experiment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue a piece of sheet metal to the bottom side of the roof, which I'm thinking is going to act as a reinforcement to stop this part of the roof from bouncing up and down. And the idea behind that is whenever you bend something, like this stick that I have, if I bend the middle down and the ends up, I'm putting the top of the piece of wood in compression and the bottom in tension. So I'm stretching the bottom and I'm compressing the top. So by gluing another piece of sheet metal onto the bottom of the roof, I'm adding a layer of material, another piece of steel. And this piece of steel that I'm going to add on is, I think it's thicker than the roof. It feels pretty thick. So we're going to, maybe double the thickness of the roof in that area, which is going to make it harder for the roof to stretch and compress, when you push down on it. So, what I'll do is I'll mix up the epoxy, I'll glue it on just like I did with the other patches. I'll, put the bottle jack underneath it to hold it up. And then we'll come back in a couple of days and take a look and see how well the roof, moves, how easy it is to move it, or not, hopefully not move it, with this new piece of sheet metal on. So just for comparison, let me bring the camera over. We'll put an X on the top of the roof where the really bouncy spot is, and I'll show you how much it bounces up and down right now and how easy it is to make it move. And then we'll come back in a few days and look at the same area and see if it has changed in stiffness by gluing on another piece. If it doesn't work, there's really no harm in it. The headliner is going to cover all of this sheet metal up anyway, so nobody's ever going to see it. But, I got a feeling that it's going to work. It's at least not, it's going to make it a little bit stiffer, but I think it'll make it a lot stiffer. So let's give it a shot and see what happens. All right, so here we go with the before. There's an X right here on the roof. I'll put my fingers right in the middle of it. And it's pretty easy to make the roof bounce up and down by pushing up and down in that spot. So we'll come back in a few days after I glue a piece to the bottom of the roof, and we'll push up and down on here and see what happens. Okay, so here's the completed stiffener from the inside. I put some primer on it, but you can see the outline of it there. And really all I did was just, you saw me glue it on with some epoxy. So now if we go up top and push down on the roof, it's really stiff now. Alright, so here it is again. The X marks the spot. Now we're going to test the roof and see what the reinforcing has done. So when I push down on it now, it's like a rock. This thing it's solid. I can't make it move, go up and down at all where the X is. So I would say that was very successful. So if you have some loose spots in your roof or in other parts of your car and you can get to the back side, one simple thing you can do to stiffen it up is just take a piece of sheet metal and some epoxy, glue it on the back side, and that'll stiffen it up really well. So thanks for watching. Keep coming back, and we'll be working on the Mustang.